Hey everyone, it's Kristin with Remax. How are you? I came across a scenario the other day and I thought it was something that you should know about. So here it is. It actually pertains to kindness. And I know this sounds a little bit crazy, but believe it or not, kindness can go very, very far in a real estate transaction. Let me give you an example. You're trying to sell your real estate, your home, piece of property. Buyer comes along, likes it, puts an offer on it. So you're negotiating. And you're negotiating to the point where you are getting somewhat frustrated with the buyer because they're trying to pull you lower than you want. And the buyer's getting frustrated because they don't think it's worth what you're asking. And they're trying to pull you down because that's what they feel it's worth with the amount of work that might need to be done to the home, right? So the goal is obviously meeting of the minds, and sometimes that doesn't always work out. And for this specific example, the meeting of the minds was so stinking close. It was crazy. But it just got to the point where the sellers were like, you know what? We're done with you, buyer. We're done with you, even though you pretty much agreed to everything that we said. We're done with you because we just got another offer in, right? So got another offer. Buyer's like, what do you mean you're done with us? Like, we've been talking about it. We've seen the property a couple times. Been negotiating for the past 3 or 4 days, and you're just done with us. Leaves the buyer feeling confused, hurt, upset. But the seller has every right to go work with this other buyer. So 4 weeks down the road, financing falls through with buyer number 2. So who gets a call back? Buyer number 1. Do you think buyer number 1 is interested? Unfortunately, even though they like the home, they just have a bad taste left in their mouth by the way that they were treated. And there may have been a better way to just respond to buyer 1 initially, because you could easily go back to buyer number 1 and just say, hey, look, we did not take your offer because it wasn't as good as this other offer. But the way you said it was, we're done with you. And that's the way that it was presented to that buyer. So now you're out, any buyer, and back on the market with no sold home. So keep that in mind. When emotions can get high and both parties' frustration points are reached and possibly even past those points, to try to remain kind and just respectable for each party trying to get to their goal, right? So if you have any questions on that, be more than happy to talk about it. Other than that, hope you do something kind today. Have a good one.